in this room in the livestock industry and the success that goes with that. And Dr. John Rayfield, superintendent of this year's contest, still under the weather this morning, received a phone call. And it's always fun. I'm a fan of history. And so we got a phone call and asked if the 50-year team from the National 4-H Livestock Judging Contest, the national champion team, could attend this morning's breakfast. And we said absolutely yes. When we look to what that contest and that team has done, there's some history around that. So the national championship team in 1972 was Illinois. And it was coached by Mel Fink, the University of Illinois livestock specialist, who was an avid Duroc breeder and a nationally recognized swine judge. He coached multiple winning national teams. And if you see in your program later on this morning, you're going to see the coach of the high team and the national champion team receives the Mel Fink Memorial Desk Clock in his honor, sponsored actually, ironically, by another longtime committee member named Doyle Wolverton. And so there was 3 members that were in Chicago, helping in Chicago at that point. Doyle Wolverton, John Parker, and Delbert O'Meara. And we always love to hear about the history and the days of the Chicago International Livestock Exposition when this contest was there. This team started out strong in the fall of '72. This was a team that was high team at the National Barrow Show in Austin, Minnesota. They were the high team at the American Royal in Kansas City, and they were the high team at the National 4-H Livestock Contest in Chicago. For those that are wondering about history, the National 4-H Livestock Judging Contest moved to the North American International Livestock Exposition in 1974. And so it was the final 2 years with that. The judging took place in the Chicago Amphitheater and just outside of the no longer existing historic Chicago stockyards at that point. This was the first Illinois team to have won all 3, if you will, national contests at that time between Barrow Show, American Royal, and the National 4-H Livestock Contest. Otto Rinker was the high individual at the Royal, with Kurt Rinker placing 3rd overall and Paul Burns placing 5th. Randy McCaskill was the high individual at the Chicago National 4-H Contest, with Todd Burris placing 5th overall. The team was high team in reasons in both Kansas City and Chicago at the 4-H contest, and won numerous team and individual awards in all 3 species. Each of the 5 members of the team have gone on to be successful careers in animal science and the agricultural industries. And I would imagine, and you visit with them, it starts with their experiences that they had in that livestock judging aspect of it. They've been successful in their careers, and it's really provided a foundation for their future development and their later contributions in life. And so we have those members joining us this morning. I'm going to ask them to please stand as they're called. Todd Burris, Aaronsville, Indiana. Paul Burns, let's give him a round of applause. Paul Burns, at that time from Cisco, Illinois, now Springfield. Please stand. Down here, okay. Let's give him a round of applause anyway. Randy McCaskill, Timewell, Illinois. Otto Rinker, Strasburg, Illinois. And Kurt Rinker, Windsor, Illinois, now Shelbyville. If you get a chance afterwards, type of a situation, come up, talk to them. Learn about what it did for them to be successful and how it was a launching point for them and their careers. And it's not often that we get the opportunity to honor a 50-year team, to be able to make that happen. And so we are certainly pleasure and honor to have you at this morning's breakfast. Yes, sir.
I would like to say our coach, Mel Fink, had a distinct impact on everybody and was the finest man you ever would meet.
Let's give Mel Fink a round of applause. It's a great honor of mine to serve as chair of the board of directors for the National Youth Livestock Contest, and I'd like to take this time to introduce the outstanding members of that committee. Vice chair of the board, if you please stand, Ms. Bonnie Boyden, University of Maryland Extension. Secretary of the board and assistant award superintendent, Ms. Heather Schultz. She's an extension animal scientist, youth livestock at Clemson. Treasurer of the board of directors, Mr. Aaron Fisher, University of Tennessee, youth livestock specialist. We can't have these contests without applying to USDA National 4-H headquarters, and we have a National 4-H program leader rep who does an outstanding job of representing us at the national level and also bringing back the initiatives from USDA National 4-H. Dr. Mike Yoder, our program leader representative, and the 4-H program leader for North Carolina. Other board of directors, and we'll hold applause until they've all been recognized: Mr. Willard Lemaster, First McNess; Brian Bolt, Clemson University. With that, also Brian Reiling from University of Nebraska serves on the board as well. Dwight Loveday serving on the board of directors as well with things, along with a couple other superintendents you'll hear about here. We had other folks helping us throughout all three contests. I would like to recognize Derry Pearson, Chief Collateral Inspector at Farmers National Company; Dr. Bert Moore, retired professor at North Dakota State University; Dr. Ronnie Silcox, retired Extension Beef Specialist, University of Georgia; Mr. Mike Myers serves as our liaison with the University of Kentucky Extension. We also was assisted by Mr. Gary Kubicek, retired sales executive; Mr. Adam Morehauser, farmer and cattleman from South Dakota; Mr. Kip Williams, as well as Mr. Jesse Henson from Alabama. So let's give all these folks a round of applause, please. So we have a couple individuals that could not be with us, and it actually ties back to that 1972 team. So Mr. John Parker's retired from the Virginia Pork Board, and so Bonnie and I got a phone call from him on Saturday. Mr. Parker is 83, and he was here up until 2019 assisting with this contest. He traces his roots back to the Chicago days of the mid-60s, as well as Mr. Doyle Wolverton, retired professor emeritus, Youth Livestock, University of Nebraska at Lincoln. I ran into him a week ago and his best wishes, and he sponsors an award this morning, the Mel Fink Memorial Clock. I would like to take this time for a second. We did have a passing of a longtime member of this committee, Mr. Delbert O'Meara. He traces his roots back to the mid-60s in Chicago and continued to help with this contest up until 2017, holding various roles. And he was, along with Doyle and John, sort of our historians. And so we've tried to capture that history over time. But with Mr. O'Meara's passing, I'd like to take a moment of silence, please, in his honor for his contributions to the youth of America. Thank you. One of the things that we also want to be able to do, and the contestants always have an active part, of course, in these contests, is I like to call Mr. Cade Lawrence forward, Quiz Bowl contestant from Texas, to make a few remarks. Let's give him a round of applause. Cade.
Yesterday, my team and I were fortunate to represent Randall County 4-H in Texas here at the National Livestock Quiz Bowl competition. On behalf of my fellow contestants, as well as those that competed in Livestock Skill-a-thon and Livestock Judging, please allow me the opportunity to thank the sponsors and donors, as well as those, the judges and the countless volunteers that worked tirelessly to make the last few days come together for us all. Additionally, I would like to recognize and thank all of the parents, coaches, 4-H leaders, mentors, and everyone else that has helped us to reach this point. The journey to Louisville has been a special one that we could not have done by ourselves. Through your talent, time, and treasure, you have made that possible. We thank you all. Contestants, please join me in a round of applause.
We also have a special guest joining us today that I'd like to introduce, Rachel Gaduli, who is the University of Kentucky Assistant Director for 4-H Youth Development, is joining us. If she could stand today. Kentucky does a great job of, they have to sign off on our application for all three contests as the host state for this, and so it takes cooperation with Rachel and her office to be able to make this happen. Let's give University of Kentucky a round of applause. So at this time, I'd like to call to the podium Mr. Steve Pritchard, Superintendent of the National 4-H Livestock Quiz Bowl Contest. He is going to talk about the Quiz Bowl results. Steve.
Thank you, Matt. I appreciate it. Welcome, everyone, this morning. This was the 15th year of the National 4-H Livestock Judging Competition, and we were very fortunate. We're growing. We're on the move. We had 15 teams going head-to-head to earn awards and recognition in the areas of that animal science subject matter. So we did have a nice problems to try to work through and resolve with the number of teams. You take the brackets, a double elimination. It's a long day. So we call upon some other volunteers for the judging aspect of it to come and fill in to help speed up the contest. It seemed to work very well, but the last matches is always an interesting feature, and you never know till the dust settles who's at the top side. I'd like to express our appreciation to North American International Livestock Exposition and their staff for providing the opportunity for allowing the youth to demonstrate their knowledge and talent while they are here in Louisville. Also like to extend my gratitude to all the members of the committees and the officials that helped out. And it's not something that just happens overnight. You've got to be able to staff a room and to do it fairly. Competent people, knowledgeable people, and people with passion for youth and 4-H. And that is awesome. So we really appreciate it. Big thank you out to our sponsors, the American Foods Group. We had one of our officials, Riley Rubel, was one of our officials representing American Foods Group yesterday. Unfortunately, he had to catch an early flight back this morning. Showtimes and the North American International Livestock providing recognition and support to our teams, both teams and individuals. Kind of a quick reflection on the contest. You know, the hard work and the effort that the youth put forth in preparing for these contests results in demonstrating their decision-making, problem-solving, critical thinking, and teamwork skills, life skills that will carry them forward in the future. Our top 10 individuals would like to recognize those. If you would please come forward, and these are in no particular order, but I need the top 10 to come forward up here to the front of the room. Cecilia Newby from Kansas, Cade Lawrence from Texas, Hadley Cook, Parker Wolohoski, Lydia Rose, Grace Spiker, Lauren Walter, Kirsten Pretty. I got 7. Okay. Yeah, stand on the wings if you would, right here. Stand on the wings there. So our top 10, we recognize these individuals. We had a tie for 9th and 10th place. In 10th place with 110 points from Kansas, Cecilia Newby. In 9th place from Texas, Hadley Cook. In 8th, Lydia Rose from Minnesota with 115. As we jump it up to 140 points from Wisconsin, Braden Peter. In 6th, with 145 from Illinois, Lauren Walter. In 5th, with 155 from Arkansas, Kirsten Pretty. Also in fourth place, Gracie Spiker from West Virginia. It was 155, that was a tie. Third, from Nebraska, Parker Wolohoski. Parker come in at 170 points. Now we jump it up ramp it up. And I believe I was talking with one of our 50-year team members when we're going to the line. The bar gets higher every year, the knowledge, the skills. In second place from Kansas with 210 points, Trey Newby. The dust hasn't settled. He's standing pretty calmly out here, observing this young man yesterday through rounds. Our top individual with 295 points from Texas, Cade Lawrence. Congratulations to our top 10 individuals in Livestock Quiz Bowl. They will move you down to the photo shoot area. Team results. Fifth place team, Wisconsin. Your coach, Tina Coleman. Team members, Ethan Coleman, Braden Peter, Catherine Schwartz, Chloe Brunig. Ellen, yeah, come forward, please, Wisconsin team members. In fourth, please come forward when your names are announced. Illinois. Coach, Eric Fugit. Team members, Cole Pollock, Lauren Walder, Hannah Miller, Ella Dreck, and Davis Howell. In third place, Nebraska. Coach, Shannon Peterson. Team members, Parker Wolohoski, Barton Beatty, Preston Beatty, and Addison Luther. Reserve champion. They will be awarded the All-American Belt Buckle, sponsored by Showtimes. Kansas. Coach, Nicole Small. Team members, Trey Newby, Cecilia Newby, Maggie Chandler, and Maddox Small. Our 2022 National 4-H Livestock Quiz Bowl team, crowned yesterday, Texas. Coach, Kerry Bradshaw. Team members, Cade Lawrence, Hadley Cook, Hope Glighorn, and Cash Miller. So congratulations to all of our contestants, coaches. We appreciate all of the help from volunteers, and thank you.
Thank you, Steve. Let's give our Quiz Bowl contestants a round of applause. Congratulations. It's my pleasure to introduce Dr. Rosie Nold, Superintendent of the National 4-H Livestock Skill-a-thon Contest. Dr. Nold.
Thank you, Matt. I'd like to draw your attention to the page in your program that starts with Listing of the committee members for the National 4-H Livestock Skill-a-thon contest. Of course, our committee members are important, and many of you in the contest met them throughout the day. We also had a number of other volunteers here to help this year. As you've already heard, this would not be possible without all those folks that put in a lot of time to make this contest happen. The other thing, though, that I want you to look at on that particular page is at the bottom. We're very fortunate to have sponsors for items that each and every contestant can take home from here. So I would like to recognize Merck Animal Health, and I believe we have our representative, Anthony Stevens, is here. If you would just like to stand up, please, Anthony. Merck is the one that makes possible those placards that you will be taking home as a participant in the National Skill-a-thon contest. Also, you'll see livestockjudging.com written down at the bottom, and I believe many of you are familiar with them because of their posting the rankings and such that they do for many contests that you're involved with, but they are the ones that made possible those steno notebooks that you will also be taking home. So let's give them a round of applause as well. We're going to start with our Division of Identification Awards. I'd like to ask Dr. Dwight Loveday to come forward to help present those awards. And just a little bit of instruction before we begin. I am going to read these in order from 10th through 1st. So if you would come up and remain standing in the front after you receive your award until all the top 10 individuals have been announced, and then you'll exit to my left for a picture, and then we'll move on to the team awards. So our first section, again, is identification. There's a total possible of 180 points. This consists of livestock equipment ID, breeds ID, and retail meat cut ID. We actually had a tie for 11th place, and so I'd like to recognize the individual that was in 11th after breaking that tie, but will not receive any of our plaques this morning, and that was Grace Kling from Wisconsin with 143 points. Congratulations to Grace. In 10th place, also with 143 points from Maryland, is Stephen King. And the third in that three-way tie with 143 points from Texas is Leighton Byer. Moving up to another tie for 7th and breaking that tie, receiving 8th place, is Brennan King from Maryland. At 144 points and breaking that tie, teammate Addison Herbert, also from Maryland. Moving up to 6th place from Texas, Addison Hahn with 147 points. In 5th place, 1 point better at 148, is Olivia Scheich from Illinois. Fourth place goes to teammate Emma Pistorius, 153 points. Winning the tie for that 3rd place slot is another teammate, Drew Mickey from Illinois with 153 points. Our reserve champion in the identification section from Virginia at 165 points, Marie Claire DeRosier. And our high individual with 167 points out of 180 possible, Chase Hummel, Illinois. Congratulations to these top 10 individuals. You guys can go to my left, your left now, for your top 10 picture. On our team divisions, our team awards, I would like to ask a representative of the 6th through 10th place to come forward. Yes, Dwight, you're still up here. Before I start announcing those, again, I want to call your attention to the awards the sponsor lists at the bottom. Our top 10 individual awards were sponsored by Certified Pedigreed Swine, as well as the ribbons that were sponsored by the North American International. As we move on to the team awards, we'd like to thank the Showtimes for their sponsorship on the team awards, also along with the North American International. So our 6th through 10th place teams will receive ribbons. For each team member, again, send a representative up. In 10th place, with 342 points, was Iowa. 9th place in identification team was Wisconsin with 366 points. Our 8th place team, 375 points, was Nebraska. Seventh place, 377 points, South Dakota. Sixth place, Arkansas, with 388 points. For our 1st through 5th place teams, again, we also have plaques in addition to the ribbons. We'd like to ask the entire team to come forward, and after receiving your plaques, you will go to the picture area for a team picture for that. So our 5th place team in identification was Ohio with 397 points. Team members Molly Broadman, Adriana Meyer, J.L. Mickelson, and John Smock. Our 4th place team, moving up to 411 points, was Texas. Team members James Jensky, Addison Hahn, Landry Ottmers, and Leighton Byer. Our 3rd place team, 420 points, Virginia. Team members Kenneth Kearns, Marie Claire DeRosier, Rebecca Stout, and Elena Vincent. Our 2nd place team moves up to 431 points. Is the team from Maryland, Stephen King, Brennan King, Carolyn Clark, and Addison Herbert, coached by Jeannie Williams and Lauren Moeller. And our high team in the identification division is Illinois. Team members Chase Hummel, Drew Mickey, Emma Pistorius, and Olivia Scheich, coached by Eric Fugate, with 473 points. Our next division will be the evaluation awards, or evaluation division. Our representative from Transova, who is a major sponsor for this section, is here, Mr. Garrett Stanfield. If you would come forward, please, to help present these awards. Would also like to recognize the other sponsors that are listed at the bottom. The Showtimes is also a sponsor for the top individual awards. The evaluation on the individual side includes the hay judging with questions and wool judging with questions for a total possible points of 120. In 10th place, at 107 points, is Chase Hummel from Illinois, who's over getting a picture yet, probably. We had a tie for 8th place. Breaking that tie, in 9th place at 108 points is James Jensky from Texas. And same score, in 8th place is Aiden Kernodle from North Carolina. We had another tie for 6th place. Breaking that tie and at 1 point higher at 109 points, in 7th place is Josie Nold from South Dakota. Our 6th place individual from Indiana is Colton Kephart. Another tie for 4th place, receiving 5th place with 110 points from Nevada is Allie Preston. Receiving 4th place, Ella Stiefvater from South Dakota. Our 3rd place individual at 111 points, Olivia Scheich from Illinois. We had a tie for 1st place. Had to go all the way to the 3rd tiebreaker to break this tie. In 2nd place, with 112 points, from South Dakota, Ashlyn Rodebush. And our high individual in evaluation from Nebraska, Justine Pope. Congratulations to our top 10 individuals in evaluation. In the team division for evaluation, this section has many of the team events added in for the overall score. So unlike many other contests that you may be familiar with, the Skill-a-thon has 6 stations that are done as a team, so all 4 individuals work together in those stations. And the stations that are added into the team score here under evaluation include stations on animal breeding, feeds and feeding, reproduction, performance and management, and meats and carcass eval. So again, a representative from the 10th through 6th place teams, please come forward to receive your ribbons, which are sponsored by the North American International. In 10th place with 614 points is Ohio. Ninth place at 636 points is Maryland. Eighth place, 650 points, Wisconsin. In 7th place with 651 points is Iowa. Sixth place, 674 points is Indiana. Okay, again, for our 1st through 5th place teams, we would like the entire team to come forward. Our 5th place team with a score of 677 points is Texas. Team members Leighton Beyer, James Jensky, Addison Hahn, and Landry Ottmers. Our 4th place team with 689 points is Illinois. Team members Olivia Scheich, Chase Hummel, Drew Mickey, and Emma Pistorius. Moving up to 692 points is Virginia. Kenneth Kearns, Marie-Claire de Rosier, Rebecca Stout, and Elena Vincent. Our second place team, a score of 698 points, is South Dakota. Team members Ashlyn Rodebush, Ella Stiefwater, Josie Nold, and Colton Stiefwater. And our high team in evaluation with 703 points is Nebraska. Team members Justine Pope, Mason Jonda, Callie Carmen, and Gracie Wagner, coached by Dean Beatty. Our sponsors for those team awards for evaluation were not able to be here today. However, we would like to verbally recognize them. They included Center of the Nation Wool from Belfouche, South Dakota, as well as First McNess, represented by Willard Lemaster out of Des Moines, Iowa. Moving on to our next division of quality assurance. On the individual side, quality assurance consists of the quality assurance station and the general knowledge quiz for a total score of 120 points. In 10th place, and I know we'll have some back and forth here, but we will make that happen. And again, we want to recognize our sponsors for this. I'd like to thank Mr. Anthony Stevenson from Merck Animal Health for being here, and he will be presenting our awards. In 10th place, for individual quality assurance, we had a tie for 9th, receiving the 10th place ribbon and plaque from South Dakota with a score of 96 points is Ella Stiefwater. In 9th place, breaking that tie, is Chase Hummel from Illinois. I think a couple of these folks are in the picture line right now. Okay, 8th place with 97 points from Nebraska, Gracie Wagner. Seventh place, moving up to 99 points from Maryland, is Brennan King. Up to 100 points in 6th place from Wisconsin is Grace Kling. At 104 points, we had a tie for 4th place, breaking that tie and receiving the 5th place ribbon and plaque. At 104 points from Virginia is Rebecca Stout in 5th place. The 4th place award goes to Emma Pistorius from Illinois. Our 3rd place in quality assurance, 1 point higher at 105 points, from South Dakota, Josie Nold. Second place, 108 points, Olivia Scheich, Illinois. And our high individual in the quality assurance division with 110 points, Wyatt Berg, Wisconsin. Congratulations again to our top 10 individuals in the quality assurance division, and thank you to Merck Animal Health. Guys can go over for your pictures. Our top teams. The team division for this consists of those top 3 individuals as well as the quality assurance team station. In 10th place, a representative please, with 334 points is Mississippi. Ninth place, 343 points, Indiana. Tied with them, receiving the 8th place award with 343 points is Nebraska. We also had a tie for 6th place. Receiving the 7th place award is Texas with 350 points. And in 6th place, also with 350 points, is Ohio. Our 5th place team receives plaques, which are sponsored by Westway Feeds, as well as all of our ribbons, again, are sponsored by the North American International Livestock Exposition. Our 5th place team with 368 points is Wisconsin. Team members Caden Mosley, Wyatt Berg, Grace Kling, and Austin Laufenberg. All team members, please. Oh, are they over there for pictures? Okay. 4th place team, actually tied, receiving the 4th place at 368 points is Virginia. Team members Elena Vincent, Marie-Claire DeRosier, Kenneth Kearns, and Rebecca Stout. Our 3rd place team, kind of neighbors to them, goes to Maryland with 374 points. Team members Caroline Clark, Brennan King, Addison Herbert, and Stephen King. Our reserve champion, 2nd place team in the Quality Assurance Division with 388 points is South Dakota. Team members Ashlyn Rudebush, Ella Stiefvater, Josie Nold, and Colton Stiefvater, coached by Carrie Stiefvater. And our high team in Quality Assurance with 402 points is Illinois. Team members Chase Hummel, Drew Mickey, Emma Pistorius, and Olivia Scheich. Okay, as we move on to our overall contest awards, and so we can keep up with pictures, I'd just like to make a few comments, and some of these may sound a little bit familiar, but I really want to congratulate every single participant that's in this room. I happen to teach somewhere between 250 and 300 first-year College of Ag students in an Introduction to Animal Science class every year. And I will tell you, it does not matter how you place in these contests. Those of you that have participated in these contests, make yourselves stand out. I know who you are when you're in class. You ask questions, you're respectful, you want to learn. Your content knowledge may also be very strong, but that's not the most important part. It's the other pieces that go along with it that really set you up for success for a lifelong. And so regardless of how you walk away from here, how many plaques you walk away with, know that that is really, really important and that you do leave an impression with people wherever you go, okay? With that, we will move on to our overall contest awards. Our individual awards, we will announce the top 20. The top 20 individuals in this contest are considered our All-American Award winners, And we have belt buckles that are sponsored by the Youth Quality Care of Animals organization. Mr. Paul Kuber is the chairman of the board for that organization, and he will present those awards. I'd also like to recognize two of our others that have been up here handing out or helping keep us organized on awards. Ms. Bernie O'Rourke as well as Lindsay Chichester are also both on the board for that organization and help everyone across this country learn the importance of that quality assurance. Okay? So I'm going to start in 20th place. We'll call up 10 through 20, or excuse me, 11 through 20, and we'll have them stand up here, and then we'll move on to the top 10. So in 20th place with 314 points is Colton Stiefvater from South Dakota. And in 19th place, we have another Colton, but from Indiana, Colton Kephart with 318 points. Our 18th spot goes to Nebraska, Gracie Wagner with 322 points. Also at 322 points in 17th is Rebecca Stout from Virginia. We'd like those folks to stay up here. Yep. Let's keep 11th through 20th up here for the moment. In 16th place with 323 points from Wisconsin, Wyatt Berg. 1 point better, 324 points from Texas, Leighton Beyer. 14th place, 327 points, Addison Herbert from Maryland. And teammate, Stephen King, 330 points, also from Maryland. 12th place, we had a tie for 11th. 12th place goes to J.L. Mickelson from Ohio at 331 points. And 11th to Caroline Clark from Maryland, 331 points. Okay, those are your 11th through 20th place winners. We're gonna send them over to the picture area to start getting organized. Moving on to our 10th place individual with 332 points. From South Dakota, Josie Nold. 9th place, 334 points from Wisconsin, Grace Kling. We had a tie for 7th, breaking that tie, 337 points, and 8th place from South Dakota is Ella Stiefvater. 7th place, Brennan King, Maryland. In 6th place with 343 points from Texas, Addison Hahn. 5th place. We gotta keep these guys up here and moving right along. 5th place, 346 points from Illinois, Emma Pistorius. 1 point better at 347, also from Illinois, Drew Mickey. 3rd place, 354 points from Virginia, Marie Claire DeRosier. Our reserve champion overall, 367 points from Illinois, Olivia Scheich. And our high individual with 370 points, also from Illinois, Chase Hummel. Congratulations to our top 10, our top 20 individuals. Chase, you also have a banner up here. Sponsored by Showtimes. And again, thank you to the YQCA organization for that sponsorship. Moving on to our overall teams, we do have awards for the entire team. We will just take pictures of the top 5 teams. So a representative from the 6th through 10th place teams, please come forward. In 10th place, with 1,309 points, is, 1,309 points is the team from Iowa, coached by Maureen Hansen, Todd Wiley, and Mitchell Hansen. And I'd like to recognize our sponsors. They are unable to be here, but our 9th and 10th place team awards are sponsored by the American Southdown Breeders Association. 9th place is Ohio, 1,325 points, coached by Benjamin Wenner, Hunter Frobos, and Andrea Reese. Our 6th through 8th place team awards are sponsored by Showtimes. Our 8th place team, 1,338 points, goes to Indiana, coached by Jeremy Armstrong. Seventh place, 1,374 points, coached by Jesse Oberlin, is Wisconsin. Our 6th place team, 1,421 points, is Nebraska, coached by Dean Beatty. Our top 5 team awards are sponsored by Transova Genetics. If we could have Garrett come back up, please. And the entire team should come up. In 5th place with 1,428 points is Texas. Team members Leighton Byer, James Jensky, Addison Hahn, and Landry Ottmers, coached by Patrick Paget. In addition to the plaques, we also have banners sponsored by Showtimes for the top 5 teams. Our 4th place team, 1,435 points, is Maryland. Team members Stephen King, Brennan King, Caroline Clark, and Addison Herbert, coached by Jeannie Williams and Lauren Moeller. Our 3rd place team, with 1,445 points, is South Dakota. Team members Josie Nold, Ella Stiefwater, Colton Stiefwater, and Ashlyn Rodebush, coached by Carrie Stiefwater. Before I announce, I'd like to ask Mike Myers to come forward, please. Mike, we're gonna have you present our trophy for our top team. We're not quite there, but I wasn't sure how far away you were. Okay, our reserve champion team overall for the 2022 National 4-H Livestock Skill-a-thon with 1,467 points is Virginia. Team members Elena Vincent, Marie-Claire DeRosier, Kenneth Kearns, and Rebecca Stout, coached by Ruth C.M. Bowden and Clara Nelson. And our top team overall receives the team of plaques from Transova Genetics, the banner from Showtimes. In addition, the North American International sponsors mint julep cups for the members of the top team and the coach. And we also have a rotating trophy that goes to the high team overall. That trophy is in honor of Dr. Monty Chappell from Lexington, Kentucky, who was kind of the originator and long-term supporter of the Skill-a-thon contest. And we have asked Mr. Mike Myers, our University of Kentucky liaison, to our National Youth Livestock Committee to present that award on behalf of the Chapel family. And our top team, with a score of 1,550 points, is Illinois. Team members Chase Hummel, Drew Mickey, Emma Pistorius, and Olivia Scheich, coached by Eric Fugate. Congratulations to all of our award winners. As I said, you're all winners for competing in this contest. Thank you.
Let's give all of our Skill-a-thon contestants one more round of applause, please. About 2/3 of the way through the awards, halfway through the awards table, over $27,000 in prizes and awards sitting up on the tables this morning. So it doesn't happen without the great sponsors that we have been mentioning this morning. Also, one of those sponsors, I want to thank Farmers National Company for printing your commemorative program. Make sure to take one of them with you on your way home for things. So it is my pleasure to call up to the stand the Associate Superintendent for the National 4-H Livestock Judging Contest, Dr. Brian Bolt, to talk about the Livestock Judging Contest results. Dr. Bolt.
Thank you, Matt. And my pleasure to be up here today. I'd be remiss not to thank Dr. John Rayfield, who chairs the judging contest, does an outstanding job of assembling a team of individuals to get the classes and then to put the officials on. So my honor to serve here. We'll get started with the sheep and goat individual awards. I think the practice with the livestock judgings, I'm going to call you up in no uncertain order. Once you're up here and assembled, we will then award those various awards. Our ribbons in this are sponsored by the North American International Livestock Exhibition. Our banners to the top 10 individuals are sponsored by Ron Osborne. We also have awards to top 10 individuals that are cooperatively sponsored by Hummel Livestock with Dale and Holly Hummel, as well as Sheepman Supply with Bob and Charlotte Dinsmore. And if those folks are here and would like to come up and assist in presentations awards, Miss Heather is coordinating that. We will award a carry-on garment bag to the high individual in sheep and goats, and that award is sponsored by the Wagner family, and we do have Mr. David Wagner here. So we'll get started. So if I could have Remy Gardner from Tennessee, Lily People from Kentucky, Kellum Carnahan from Colorado, Paige Zemprick from North Dakota, Ryan Blagg from South Dakota, Colton Lake from Wyoming, McKenna Soboski from Indiana, Riley Miller from Wyoming, Faith People from Alabama, and Weston Schrader from Kansas. We'll get you up here and we'll get some awards given. All right, in 10th place is awarded to Remy Gardner of Tennessee with 311 points. You'll notice that we pace ourselves so that we get these pictures done in a timely manner. In 9th place, congratulations to Weston Schrader from Kansas, also with 311 points. In 8th place, Lily People from Kentucky with 312 points. In 7th place, from Alabama, Faith People with 314 points. Sixth place is awarded to Kellum Carnahan of Colorado with 314 points. Moving on to our top 5, 5th place is awarded to Riley Miller of Wyoming with 316 points. In 4th is Paige Zemprick from North Dakota with 317 points. 3rd place goes to McKenna Sobaski from Indiana with 317 as well. In second place is Ryan Blagg from South Dakota with 318 points. Mr. David Wagner's joining us up here. Our high individual in the sheep component is awarded to Colton Lake of Wyoming with 321 points. Congratulations to those individuals. We'll now transition over to the team awards in that. Ribbons are provided by the North American International Livestock Exposition. Awards for our top 5 teams are cooperatively sponsored by the American Dorper Sheep Breeders Society. We have Ms. Caitlin Jackson down front here. The American Hampshire Sheep Association, American Southdown Breeders, the Continental Dorset Club, as well as some awards for the coach of the top team, also awarded by the American Dorper Sheep Breeders Society, represented by Ms. Caitlin Jackson here. We'll ask for a representative from teams 10 through 6 to come up and receive your awards. Then we'll ask the teams from 5 to 1st to come up to be pictured. In 10th place in the sheep division, Pennsylvania with 896 points. In 9th place, Alabama with 897 points. 8th place is awarded to Montana with 902 points. In 7th place is Tennessee, scoring 910 points yesterday. 6th place is awarded to New Mexico with 911 points. All right, again, our top 5 teams, we will ask the teams to come forward and get in the queue to have their pictures taken. In 5th place is Texas with 915 points. Texas is making their way forward. As we're handing out those awards, we'll ask our 4th place team, Indiana, to come forward. Third place in the 4-H sheep division is awarded to South Dakota with 929 points. Second place, also at 929, and I'll remind you our tires are broken as per our rules, is awarded to the state of Colorado with 929 points. Our high sheep team for the 2022 contest is the state of Wyoming with 931 points. All right, we'll keep an eye on that line over there. We'll now call up our swine individuals, again in no certain order, but I'll look for Western Tharp from Illinois, Weston Tharp, Kinsey Gardner from Texas, James DeRoche from Kansas, Colton Lake from Wyoming, Samuel Belt from Texas, Kellum Carnahan from Colorado, Steiger Manson from Iowa, Molly Ruth from Montana, Paige Zemprick from North Dakota, and Remy Earnhardt from Indiana. All right, in 10th place is Remy Earnhardt from Indiana with 274 points. Our ribbons in this category are sponsored by the North American International Livestock Exposition. Our banners to our top 10 individuals are sponsored by Ron Osborne. Awards to the top 10 individuals are also sponsored by the National Swine Registry, Dr. Matt Clays. And we'll also have some carry-on garments to high individual, again awarded by Mr. David Wagner. In 9th place is Western Tharp from Illinois with 274 points. Eighth place is awarded to Paige Zemprick from North Dakota with 275 points. Seventh place is awarded to Kenzie Gardner from Texas with 276 points. Sixth place is awarded to Molly Ruth from Montana with 277 points. Fifth is awarded to James DeRushi from Kansas, also with 277 points. Fourth place awarded to Steiger Manson from Iowa with 278. Our third high individual in swine is awarded to Colton Lake from Wyoming, also with 278 points. Our reserve high individual in swine is Kellum Carnahan from Colorado, 279 points. And if you're following along, that leaves our high individual as Mr. Samuel Belt from Texas, scoring 283 points in the swine division. We'll move along to getting those individuals pictured, and we will move to our swine team awards. Again, our ribbons that you'll see Miss Heather and Miss Bonnie handing out, sponsored by the North American International Livestock Exposition. Our awards to coach and team members of the top 5 teams are cooperatively sponsored by Mormon Showtech, ABADM, National Swine Registry, and again, we'll have an award for the coach of the top swine team from John and Ruth Parker. We'll ask for representatives from our 10th through 6 teams to come up and claim your prizes, and then we'll picture the top 5 teams. In 10th place in the swine division, and I'm going to slow down, is the state of Wyoming, scoring 786 points. We're rotating people in and out of the picture booth here, and they're asking the guy from South Carolina to slow down. We may be here for lunch. In 9th place, the team from New Mexico with 787 points. Eighth place is awarded to Nebraska with 788 points. Seventh place to the state of Iowa with 790 points. And 6th place, the team from Missouri with 791 points. All right, top 5. And a reminder, those awards are sponsored by Mormon Showtech ADM and National Swine Registry, Dr. Matt Clays. In 5th place in the 4-H swine division, Montana with 802 points. As that team's making their way forward, we'll hand them their awards and get them in the picture line. 4th place in swine, Indiana with 804 points. Third place in swine goes to Texas with 811 points. Our reserve high swine team is awarded to Kansas with 815 points. Our high team in the swine division this year, by scoring one more point, is awarded to the state of Illinois with 816 points. We'll transition our books over to the beef division. All right, so we're going to ask our top 10 individuals in no certain order to assemble at the front here. I'll look for Kenzie Gardner from Texas, Carissa Dalquest from Kansas, McKenna Sobaski from Indiana, Josie Sanders from Nebraska, Gabriel Hansen from Iowa, Emily Taylor from Virginia, Devin Gaff from Indiana, James Earnhardt from Indiana, Brooklyn Plum from Colorado, and Emma Roden from Florida to please assemble up front. So as those individuals are making their way forward, we'll give them a second. We know we get behind over here with some other lines. Our ribbons in the top 10 awards for beef cattle are sponsored by the North American International Livestock Exposition. Our banners to the top 10 individuals, sponsored by Ron Osborne. Awards to the top individuals in beef cattle are also sponsored by Rayfield Educational Services, ICEV, Dr. Fred Rayfield. We'll also have some luggage to the high individual, sponsored by the Wagner family, represented by Mr. David Wagner. In 10th place, from Iowa, 370 points, is Gabriel Hansen. Ninth place, from Virginia, is Emily Taylor. Eighth place, from the state of Nebraska, scoring 373 points, is Josie Sanders. Seventh to James Earnhardt from Indiana, also scoring 373. Sixth place to McKenna Sobaski from Indiana with 374 points. Moving to our top 5 individuals. In 5th place is Brooklyn Plum from Colorado with 375 points. 4th place is awarded to Carissa Dalquest from Kansas with 376 points. 3rd place is awarded to Emma Roden from Florida with 378 points. Breaking the tie for reserve individual in beef is Kenzie Gardner from Texas with 378 points as well. If you're following along, we leave one young person standing, so our high individual in beef is awarded to Devin Gaff from Indiana with 381 points. We now move into the performance beef cattle, and we'll recognize our top 5 individuals. We have awards in that division awarded by First McNeese, Dr. Willard Lemaster, as well as standalone feed from Rotan, Texas. In 5th place in performance beef cattle is Devin Gaff from Indiana. We'll pull a lot of these folks out of line, I assume, so we'll give them a chance. Evans coming over to pick up her 5th place award. 4th to McKenna Sobaski, also from Indiana, with 148. Third high individual in performance cattle is Kenzie Gardner from Texas, also scoring 148. Reserve high individual in performance cattle is Brooklyn Plum from Colorado, scoring a perfect 150. That leaves one spot, also scoring 150. Our ties are broken as per our rules and regulations, is awarded to Emma Roden from Florida. We'll now transition over to our beef team awards. Ribbons again are sponsored by North American International Livestock Exposition. Awards in the top 5 category, cooperatively sponsored by the American Hereford Association and Certified Hereford Beef, the American Maine Anjou Association, First McNeese, the Red Angus Association of America, as well as a Coaches Award sponsored by Dr. Rich Knipe. I think you've heard it said several times, but we appreciate you reaching out to the sponsors and thanking them for the awards, but more importantly, the support of these young people. I know of very few more valuable ways to develop young people than what we've talked about this morning. We'll ask for representatives from our 10th through our 6th team to come up to receive your awards, and then, as we've done all morning, we'll picture the top 5 teams. In 10th place in beef cattle is New Mexico, scoring 1,071 points. In 9th place is Virginia, also scoring 1071, broken as per the rules. Eighth place is awarded to South Dakota, scoring 1072. Seventh place, Illinois, also scoring 1072. In 6th place is Kansas with a score of 1,076. As we transition to top 5, we'll ask for the team to come forward to be pictured. In 5th place, in this year's National 4-H Livestock Judging Contest Beef Division, Iowa, with 1,091 points. Fourth place in beef goes to Texas with 1,098 points. Third place in beef cattle is awarded to Florida, scoring 1,099 points. All right, now moving on to the reserve high beef team. The state of Colorado with 1,102 points. Now for our high beef team, Indiana with the 1,128 points. We'll now move into the oral reasons portion of the awards banquet. I'm going to look for the following 10 individuals to join Miss Heather and Miss Bonnie down front here. Cole Birch, Riley Miller, Devin Gaff, Gabriel Hansen, Kenzie Gardner, Colton Lake, McKenna Sabaski, Weston Tharp, Seth Myring, and Remy Earnhardt. Young folks, if you'll join us down front, we'll begin to assign your awards. Again, remind you the ribbons are sponsored by the North American International Livestock Exhibition. Our banners to the top 10 individuals and reasons are sponsored by Ron Osborne. Awards also in the top 10 individuals and reasons are sponsored by the American Scimitar Association. We'll continue with the tradition of some luggage to the high individual, sponsored by the David Wagner family, and Mr. Wagner has joined us here this morning. In 10th place, from Indiana, scoring 188 points, is Remy Earnhardt. Ninth place is awarded to Seth Myring from Nebraska. Eighth place is awarded to Weston Tharp from Illinois. With 189 points for both Seth and Weston, if I missed those, for those of you keeping up. In 7th place is McKenna Sabaski from Indiana with 189 points as well. 6th high individual in reasons is awarded to Colton Lake from Wyoming with 190 points. 5th place is awarded to Cole Birch from Missouri with 191 points. 4th high individual, also with 191 points, is Riley Miller from Wyoming. 3rd place is awarded to Devin Gaff from Indiana, also scoring 191 points. Tight contest. Reserve high individual in oral reasons for the 22 contest is Gabriel Hansen from Iowa with 193 points. Also scoring 193 is Kenzie Gardner, our high individual from Texas. We'll now move to team awards for reasons. Again, those ribbons are sponsored by the North American International Livestock Exposition. The awards to the coach and team members in our top 5 teams are sponsored by the American Salers Association, the Beef Improvement Federation, the National Swine Registry, Select Sires, and Westway Feed Products. We'll also have a coach of the top reasons teams that Mr. Gunderson mentioned earlier, but the Monty Chapel Memorial Desk Clock, sponsored by Dr. Clint and Madeline Rusk. We'll ask for a representative from our teams 10 through 6 to come up to claim your awards. We'll picture the top 5 teams. In 10th place for the overall reasons is South Dakota with 536 points. In 9th place is Nebraska with 537 points. In 8th place is the team from Kansas with 545 points. Jumping up 5 points to 550 is the team from Missouri in 7th. Breaking that tie at 550 is our 6th place team, and that's the Texas 4-H team. we move into our top 5, we'll ask those teams to come forward and have their picture made. In 5th place, for oral reasons, is Iowa, scoring 551 points. I know you've clapped a lot, but it's okay. All these young folks deserve it. Fifth place, yes. In 4th place is Colorado with 552 points. Texas is 6th. Third high team in oral reasons is from Wyoming with 559 points. Reserve high team for oral reasons for this year's contest is Illinois, scoring 564 points. Your high reasons team for this year's National 4-H Livestock Judging Contest is from Indiana with 568 points. Reminding the coach of the top reasons team will receive the Dr. Monty Champel Memorial Desk Clock, awarded to the coach of the top team in oral reasons, and that is sponsored by Dr. Clint and Madeline Rusk. Dr. Rusk, longtime member of the Livestock Judging Committee here at the 4-H contest. All right, moving into the overall individual awards, and much like our other contest, we will do 20 overall individual awards. They'll receive belt buckles. Those buckles, as All-Americans, are sponsored by the Showtimes, Miss Betty Reed, the North American International Livestock Expositions, helping with our banners. We also have sponsorship from Ron Osborne, National Pork Board and the Pork Checkoff, Westway Feed Products, Mr. David Wagner and the Wagner family. And I think we also have United Producers as a sponsor. Mr. Jeff Zenner is here with us this year. So if any of those individuals would like to come forward to be assisting with handing those awards and recognize those young people, we'd love to have you down front. So I'm going to start with the 20th high individual, and that is awarded to Rayanna King from Montana. In 19th place is awarded to Riley Miller from Wyoming. Yeah, if you would please stay up here. We'll take pictures. Our top 20 individuals are All-Americans. Yep. So just recapping, Rayanna King scored 804. Riley Miller from Wyoming scored 805. 18th place, scoring 811 points, is Lane Deutsch from South Dakota. th place is awarded to Western Schrader from Kansas, also scoring 811 points. Sixteenth high individual is Brooklyn Plum from Colorado, also with 811 points. 15th high individual is Neely Burrow from New Mexico with 817 points. In 14th place is Steiger Manson from Iowa with 819 points. 13th place is Miss Molly Ruth from Montana with 820 points. Twelfth place is Carissa Dalquest from Kansas, also with 820 points. 11th place is awarded to Preston Road from Illinois with 820 points. We'll now make our way into the top 10 individuals overall for the 2022 National 4-H Livestock Judging Contest. We will transition our other young people over for pictures. In 10th place, we'll recognize Emily Taylor from Virginia with 821 points. Ninth place is awarded to Devin Gaff from Indiana, scoring 823 points. Eighth place is awarded to Emma Roden from Florida, scoring 828 points. Seventh place is awarded to Kenzie Gardner from Texas with 829 points. Sixth place, Remy Earnhardt from Indiana with 830 points. Moving into our top 5 individuals. In 5th place is Paige Zimbrick from North Dakota with 831 points. Fourth high individual overall, Samuel Belt from Texas with 832 points. With that same score, but winning the tiebreaker, is our third high individual, Colton Lake from Wyoming. Reserve high individual overall is McKenna Sobaski from Indiana with 837 points. And your National 4-H Contest high individual is awarded to Kellum Carnahan from Colorado. As we move into the team awards, we know we'll lose your attention, so we're going to make a few announcements here as we get this transitioned over. Official results will be available at judgingcard.com after 11 a.m. Eastern Time. Then our coaches have a stenographer's pen on the end of the table down here to my left and your right, and we'll ask you to pick those up as you work your way through. For our overall team awards, those ribbons are sponsored by the North American International Livestock Exposition. We're giving the Silver Mint Julep Awards to each member of the top team, and that's also sponsored by the North American. Awards to our top 10 teams, sponsored by Westway Feed Products. A trophy to the top team overall is awarded from the Collegiate Livestock Judging Coaches Association. Coach of the top team overall will receive the Mel Fink Award that Mr. Gunderson mentioned earlier. That's sponsored by Doyle and Dottie Wolverton. And other contest awards here in this breakfast have all been sponsored by the North American International Livestock Exposition. Jackie E. Shelby, the new executive director, tremendous supporter of what we've done here. Right, in 10th place for this year's 4-H Livestock Judging Contest, New Mexico with 2,376 points. A representative from the 10th through 6th. And we'll picture those top 5 teams, is my understanding. Our 9th high team is awarded to Iowa with 2,379 points. Eighth high team is awarded to Florida with 2,380 points. Seventh high team awarded to Illinois with 2,387 points. Our sixth high team, Montana, combined score of 2,409 points. We'll now move to our fifth high team, and we'll ask that entire team to come forward and have their picture made. Your fifth high team for this year's contest is the state of Wyoming with 2,413 points. Fourth place is awarded to Kansas with 2,423 points. Our top 3 teams will have the opportunity to compete at the Royal Highlands Show. It's a judging contest held in Scotland and Ireland. You can find more information on the inside back cover. And we'll be handing you some information down front here. Do want to recognize our custom stenographer pad sponsors, LivestockJudging.com, Mr. David Wagner and the Wagner family for the luggage that's been so graciously offered up. Our judging contest luncheon from yesterday, sponsored by American Angus Association and American Hereford Association, certified Hereford beef. American International Charolais Association, American Shorthorn Association Board of Directors, and the North American Limousine Board of Directors appreciate those teams' support, or those individuals' support. Our third high individual goes to Colorado with 2,432 points. Reserve high team for the 2022 National 4-H Livestock Judging Contest is awarded to Texas with 2,452 points. I feel as if you're waiting on something. All right, those awards are handed out. This year's high team for the 2022 National 4-H Livestock Judging Contest awarded to Indiana with 2,490 points. Congratulations to all participants, all teams. You've heard it several times. Please, please pay it forward. Thank someone. Thank your coach, your parents, your volunteers. On behalf of the Livestock Committee, we appreciate you being here. Safe travels as you head home. And we're going to let Mr. Gunderson say a few closing words.
One more round of applause, please, for all of our contestants across all 3 contests. Coaches are going to have packets, any results. Skill-a-thon will be emailed. Judging contest is going to be new this year. Coaches, we have a commemorative judging contest, notebook pad for you down here. Coaches for livestock judging contest, you can go on the livestockjudging.com and pull the full set of results. That's a new process for this year to be able to see everything there. So on behalf of the National Youth Livestock Contest Board of Directors, safe travels home. We said we'd be done by 10:30. We're 20 minutes early. Safe travels, everyone. Thanks for coming.